Have you ever told a small lie and watched it turn into a bigger problem? Or maybe you've wanted to take the easy way out, even when you knew it wasn't the right choice? Life is full of choices. Some help us succeed, while others can lead us down the wrong path. This is the story of Pinocchio, a wooden puppet who wanted to be real, just like we all want to grow into the best version of ourselves. But to do that, he had to learn some important lessons about being honest, taking responsibility, and what it really means to be good. A long time ago, in a small town in Italy, there lived an old man named Geppetto. He was a kind and lonely carpenter who loved making wooden toys for children. But in his heart, he longed for something more, a child of his own. One day, while searching for wood to carve, he found a special piece. It was smooth and warm, almost as if it were alive. As soon as Geppetto touched it, he heard a tiny voice.
"Ouch, be careful,"
said the wood. Geppetto gasped and looked around, but no one was there. He stared at the wood, his eyes wide with wonder.
"This is magic,"
he whispered. Excitedly, he decided to carve the wood into a puppet. He worked all night, carving a small boy with delicate hands, a round nose, and bright eyes. When he was finished, the puppet looked so lifelike that Geppetto couldn't help but smile.
"I will call you Pinocchio,"
he declared proudly. Suddenly, something incredible happened. Pinocchio blinked and stretched his arms.
"Hello, Papa,"
he said in a cheerful voice. Geppetto was so shocked that he nearly dropped his tools.
"You can talk. You are my son now,"
he cried, wrapping Pinocchio in a warm hug. His heart was filled with joy. He had always wanted a child, and now his dream had come true. That night, as Geppetto slept, a beautiful blue fairy appeared in the room. She looked at Pinocchio and smiled kindly.
"I will help you, little one,"
she whispered.
"If you are brave, kind, and honest, one day you will become a real boy."
Then a small cricket hopped onto the table.
"Pinocchio, I will be your friend,"
he said.
"My name is Jiminy Cricket, and I will help you make good choices."
Pinocchio clapped his hands in excitement.
"I want to be a good boy,"
he said. But being good was not as easy as it seemed. The next morning, Geppetto gave Pinocchio a small bag of coins.
"Here, my son,"
he said.
"Go to school and learn well. Education is important."
Pinocchio nodded happily and skipped out the door. But on the way, he met a cunning fox and a sly cat. They looked friendly, but they were not.
"Where are you going?"
asked the fox, tipping his hat.
"To school,"
said Pinocchio. The cat grinned.
"Why go to school? Come with us. We know a place where you can have fun all day."
Pinocchio hesitated.
"But Papa told me to go to school."
"Don't worry,"
said the fox smoothly.
"Come with us, and you will be rich."
Pinocchio thought for a moment. Being rich sounded nice.
"Okay,"
he said, following them. They led Pinocchio to a dark and dirty place filled with greedy men. Before he knew it, they had stolen his money and disappeared. Pinocchio sat alone, sad and hungry.
"I should have listened to Papa,"
he whispered. That night, when Pinocchio returned home, the blue fairy appeared.
Where have you been, Pinocchio?
she asked gently. Pinocchio felt afraid.
I was at school.
He lied. Suddenly, his nose grew long.
Oh no.
He cried, touching it. The fairy shook her head.
Every time you lie, your nose will grow.
Pinocchio felt ashamed.
I am sorry. I will tell the truth.
The fairy smiled and touched his nose, making it normal again.
Be good, Pinocchio.
She said before vanishing. One day, Pinocchio met some boys who were going to a place called Pleasure Island.
Come with us. There are no rules, no school, just fun.
They said. Pinocchio thought about it. No school sounded wonderful,
Okay.
he said, following them. At first, Pleasure Island was exciting. There were games, sweets, and laughter everywhere. But then something strange happened. The boys started turning into donkeys. Their ears grew long, and tails sprouted from their backs.
Oh no.
Shouted Pinocchio.
I want to go home.
But it was too late. He looked in the mirror and gasped. He had donkey ears and a tail.
Help me!
He cried. Jiminy Cricket found him.
Come, Pinocchio. We must go home before it's too late.
When Pinocchio finally returned, Geppetto was gone. A fisherman told him,
Your father went to the sea to find you, but a giant whale swallowed him.
Pinocchio's wooden heart ached.
I must save Papa.
He declared. He dived into the sea and swam deep until he found the enormous whale. Inside its belly, Geppetto sat sadly.
Papa!
Pinocchio cried, rushing to him.
Pinocchio, you came to save me.
Geppetto said, hugging him tightly.
I have an idea.
Pinocchio said. He gathered wood and lit a fire. The smoke made the whale sneeze. With a great force, the whale sneezed them out into the ocean. They swam back home, exhausted but safe. Pinocchio hugged Geppetto.
I want to be good now, Papa, I promise.
That night, the blue fairy appeared once more.
Pinocchio, you were brave, kind, and honest. Now you will become a real boy.
A warm light surrounded him. Pinocchio felt his wooden body change. His hands were soft, his legs strong. He touched his face and gasped.
I am real.
Geppetto cried with joy.
My son, my real son.
Pinocchio smiled.
I will always be good now, Papa.
From that day on, Pinocchio and Geppetto lived happily ever after, and Pinocchio was never tempted by bad choices again. In today's world, just like Pinocchio, we all face temptations, easy shortcuts, small lies, and bad influences. But this story teaches us that true happiness and success come from making the right choices, even when it's hard. Being honest, working hard, and staying true to what's right will always lead to a better future.
Love the story of Pinocchio? Awesome! Subscribe for more stories to help you shine in English. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the bell so you never miss the next story. See you next time.